Okay, guys, before I start talking about this, I just want to say the story I'm about to tell you is something that I've been waiting to talk about for my minute. So it's been something I've been thinking about for even before I was SBL. So I just want your respect and you to listen, and for those of you that are going to be annoyed by the blue and gold pamphlet, to put that away. So this story I'm about to talk about is the story of me in this troop. How many of you were in this troop about 3 years ago? For those of you, this was around the time my brother was in the troop. Ring any bells? Yeah. Well, if you can look back, you might remember how I was back then. Because I do. I remember being immature, reckless, lazy. I hadn't earned a single piece of advancement in a year. I was coming to every other meeting. I wasn't really focused on going to Boy Scouts. And my brother was going to quit. And if it wasn't for what happened, which I'll discuss in a couple of minutes, I would have joined him. I would have given up on ever being an Eagle Scout, on ever being the SBL, on ever amounting to anything in this troop. Then one day, something changed. Me and my brother were swimming in our pool. We had just gotten back from summer camp. And our patrol leader had told my brother, and this is what my brother told me. He said, "You know what our patrol leader told me over summer camp?" What? He told us that he doesn't know what he's doing. He wants our help and our advice to know how to run this patrol. And I was like, that's crazy. I can think of 1,000 different things the patrol leader could do to make the term better. And just like that, like a seed that had just been planted and was growing really quickly, I had all these ideas that just started coming to my head. And I was like, I could tell the patrol leader we have right now all these ideas, or I could run the patrol leader myself and do them all myself. I knew I had to start small. So I asked Austin Hines, who was the SBL at the time, to be the librarian. I still remember the look on his face when he shook my hand. He was like, "All right, Tyler. Be the librarian." He didn't trust me. Nobody did. The librarian was a small job everyone just threw away, and I was a kid that was just going to do the same. Everyone knew it. 4 months later, Austin Hines thanked me for being the best librarian he had ever seen. And so at that point, I basically knew I could be the patrol leader. So I ran, and I made it, and I was so excited. Those of you who were in the Phoenix Patrol, you remember what it was like. We had themed campouts, themed games, themed food and costumes. It was a ton of fun. I did everything that I wanted to do from that moment where I thought about all the ideas that I had. And 1 year later at summer camp, Bill came up to me and he said, "Have you ever thought about running for SBL?" And I told him I kind of had it. I really had it. And he basically told me that he thought I could be a good one. And that night I didn't sleep. I thought all about whether or not I could actually do it. Do I have what it takes? What would I do? And I made the decision that that's what I was going to do. Before then, all I wanted to do was be a patrol leader. I didn't want to be an Eagle Scout. I didn't want to be the SBL. I just wanted to be the patrol leader once and have a lot of fun. But I decided that night that I wanted to be the SBL. And then I became the head quartermaster. I worked my way up and I became the SBL. And I'm sitting here talking to you guys today. So maybe you're asking yourself right now, great story, Tyler, but what does this have to do? What's the lesson? Well, I think the problem was I was letting my reputation slow me down. I was making the fact that everyone thought of me as a reckless, lazy kid make the decisions for me. Those ideas that I had in my head, I don't think those were just something that I came up with right then and there. I think it was something that I had in my head waiting for the moment where I thought about, could I be a patrol leader? I think everyone in this room has the potential to be something in this troop, to be something in anything that you want to do in life. Some of us are working hard and using our potential, but there are others who, if you are honest with yourself, are letting your reputation slow you down, and you're letting those ideas stick in the back of your head and not be noticed. I want to challenge everyone tonight. As you're driving home, I want you to think about your reputation. Think about you know, how people look at you in this troop. Some of you are probably going to say, I'm good, you know, people like me, I got a good reputation. Some of you, if you're honest with yourself, you say that I could work harder. I could be a better scout. And if you're one of those guys, and remember, you got to be honest with yourself when you do this, then I want you to think for a couple of minutes. If you were me, if you were Alex, if you were Bill, how would you run this troop? If you were whatever patrol leader you have right now, how would you run your patrol? If you think about any position, how would you manage that position? There's no limitations. This isn't you. This is someone else, someone like me. I just want you to think about that. This is the beginning of a new term. Every one of you that had a position tonight promised to do your best. I hope that means something to you. I really hope it does. And if you didn't have a position, then I want you to think about the future. What can you run for? What can you do? Maybe it isn't with this troop. Maybe it's with school. Maybe it's with your church. Maybe it's with someplace else. But I want you all to go home tonight thinking about what you could do if everything was off the table. In this troop, in your life, and whatever you could do. Because it took me thinking about what would happen if everything was off the table to finally decide to do something in this troop. Like I said, everyone here has the potential. I really think that. You just need to unlock it.